I'm currently sitting on the stage of the Metropolitan Opera House.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So social distancing, as you can tell.
Yeah, right. It doesn't look like there's much of an audience, which is good. That
No,
we get
no,
credit
that's right. That's right. Be kind of cool. Because Brandon uses a Gatorade water bottle right now mid concert to hydrate. But if he had a cam water bottle, then he would be,
I would definitely go for the water bottle option, no question.
So maybe we just do that. So it's So I guess in terms of, Brandon's section of this conversation, I like I said before, I don't think people realize how much it actually costs to run this thing.
Yep.
I think they would be shocked, because I think the average person who would be interested in donating looks at me, you, and go, oh, they go to our church and their family, and they're just putting together something ragtag, and they got some community chorus, which is free, and then they found a couple of musicians that are willing to put something together, and it might cost less than $1,000 per, easy less than $1,000 to do a show, and so to stress that, these musicians that we get are professional musicians that are highly sought after in the state, and the expense of quality is in the range of $3,000 to $5,000 per concert, and that's why we need your support to do these quality concerts.
100%.
That's the big deal, because I don't think people realize. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, I agree. In the email, I was talking some of the specifics, and if it's a $5,000 variety concert, then you're talking a full chamber singers and everything. Brandon, do you have that? The amounts and not the amounts, but if it's a $5,000 variety, what are the expenses, I guess?
Oh yeah. So the biggest expense when we put on a full concert that's around the $5,000 cost is the biggest expense is the singers, depending on the size of the chamber. But that can be up to $1,000, $2,000, depending on the size of the professional singers and what we pay them. So that's a significant cost. And in fact, I'm checking a note here. Yeah, I mean, from our past concerts, $2,000 for the singers is $2,500 is not out of the question. So singers is a huge chunk, but then the instrumentalists we have as well. If we have a string group come in, or another accompanying group, that's the next tier of spend, and then we have the music, the venue, the rental fee for the venue. There's an insurance fee that goes along with that venue. Then we do video on top of that, so to record and to be able to distribute on YouTube or social media some of the videos. That's a big expense. And then obviously on the marketing side, we have a website, we have some other things that we maintain just as an organization. So those are the big hitters. And so that comes out to about 5,000 per concert, per major concert.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for saying that. All right, so let me give you the next one here. Our goal on Patreon, I'd like to throw this out for consideration. 5 donors to start with, right off this first push. And if we can get 5 donors in the month of August, then I think that'd be a success. And then, just go up from there this fall. And the reason that I say Patreon and 5 donors is because our annual fund is going to move over to Patreon. You know what I'm saying? So we won't necessarily send out a form with the community chorus. Patreon is going to take it on for at least for the near future. What are your thoughts?
I think it's definitely needed right now. $5 a month to get started on Patreon. 5 donors at $5 a month would really kick us off there. We've said from the very beginning, from the very first meeting we had together, that this is going to have to be a community supported organization. This is not one major donor. This is not one major organization that's putting together all of these concerts and this money. It's people like you and like me and people that enjoy good choral music from the community that want to be able to give a little bit per month. And so with that, you know, a $5 a month starter gets you a ticket in the door, as well as being able to not have to worry about donating at the time of the concert or having to deal with constant pushes of fundraising, but you know each month that your $5 is coming out. If you want to, if you're able or you know, willing to do more, we have a $10 level that gives you 4 free tickets a year. So that gives you a family of 4 to come in with $10 a month, and you get all the other benefits of being a donor, as well as the you know, the opportunity for tax deductions and things like that. We will definitely get those out for you and to be a part of this organization. And then a next level is our $15 a month level. It gives you the 4 free tickets as well, and a gift item that we're currently working on just to show that you support our organization. Again, this money that we bring in directly goes to the musicians. It directly goes to venue costs, and there's very little operational overhead other than paying for good professional musicians to sing good quality choral music. And so that's what we're here to do, and that's why we're launching this Patreon endeavor this summer, and hopefully keep it throughout the rest of our organization.
Yeah, that's good. Let me talk a little bit while we're on the topic here about some of the items that are going to be there on Patreon that you'll find. Obviously, if there are virtual concerts or online video files, then they're going to land on Patreon, and we're going to allow the whole of any virtual concerts that we do. We allow the whole thing on Patreon. Those that see it on, let's say, a YouTube or a Facebook, you know, you'll get parts, but on Patreon, you'll see the whole thing. We have some educational videos that we're developing with our pitch project and the Masterworks with the Cam series. So we'll have with the Cam both interviews and educational videos, and you'll have advanced knowledge, sort of an insider guide for what's happening with the Cam. So you'll see fun meetings, hopefully like this. You'll be able to see some of the advanced planning of what's coming, and it's sort of a first look or insider look on what the Cam is going to be doing. So hopefully that'll be some content that is interesting to everybody. All right, so let's shift. Again, I wouldn't do a concert unless we thought we could afford it and everybody was on board. And the other thing is the liability thing. I wouldn't do a concert if like nobody else in the world is singing a concert, you know.
I think that's, you know, I kind of texted about it, but I think that's a big thing right now. And I think what we could do to, as an organization, is just come out and say, we won't do a concert until we have the money and it's paid for. So you could help build some urgency as well by that, and say, listen, we want to do a $2,000 concert in November, so therefore we need to raise $2,000 by November. You know, and give people that sense of urgency to do it. Or if it's, you know, and it does put us in a situation where we're literally bound by our donors. But on the other hand, I think because we're so small, we probably should be at this point. Yeah,
and I totally agree. We got to come up with a way for, like you're talking about, with revenue streams. We need money to be coming in. Obviously, the